Are you thinking about making a move to Portland, Oregon? Well, if so, stick around. As a lifelong resident of the Portland metro area, I wanted to share with you my top 6 places to go outside of Portland. So hey, my name's Stephen Dyer. I'm with the Sadle home selling team at Keller Realty. I'm a lifelong resident of the Portland metro area, and like I was saying, so if you like what you're hearing, you want to hear some more information about Portland and the surrounding areas, please hit that like, subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you can get all the latest news, information that you need to make your decision on whether or not you want to move to Portland. So Oregon is wet, right? You know, that's the belief out there. Everybody thinks Oregon's just a wet, rainy, dreary state. Well, let's look at the reality. So if we're looking at the statistics, in 2024, Oregon was ranked 35th. Out of all 50 states, they were ranked 35th for wettest states in the United States. That's not very high, right? Now, we don't get a lot of accumulation of precipitation in our states. We have quite a few rainy days, so I think we have like 145 rainy days out of the year. But the actual accumulation of precipitation puts us in at 35th out of all 50 states. That's not bad, right? And I think it's what's helped Oregon be one of the best kept secrets out there. Up until like 10, 15 years ago, you know, we had a pretty small population here. And then people started moving here. The word got out, hey, it's not that rainy there. There's a lot to do there. It's beautiful. And it is. So today I wanted to chat about some of the best things to do, not only in the Portland metro area, but outside of Portland metro area. Things that are easily drivable to. So the first thing that you can do outside of Portland would be take a trip to the Gorge. So the Gorge is going to be, the beginning of it's going to be about 30 minutes east of Portland. I live in East Multnomah County myself, and so I live east of Portland. And what I love out here is I'm at the gateway to the Gorge, and I'm also about 30 minutes away from Mount Hood, which we'll talk about later. So what is the Gorge? The Gorge is an 80-mile long river canyon created by the Columbia River over time, and in some places it's about 4,000 feet deep. Pretty spectacular views, pretty spectacular hiking, pretty spectacular waterfalls as well. And you've got these great towns like Hood River, you've got water sports on the Columbia River, you've got fishing on the Columbia River as well. I've caught many salmon myself on the Columbia River, but it's just a great place to do a ton of outdoor activities. So if you want to get outdoors, go down to the Gorge. So let's talk about the waterfalls for 1 second. So the first waterfall that comes to everybody's mind, the one that's probably going to pop up on your search if you do a search first, is going to be Multnomah Falls. Multnomah Falls is probably the most spectacular one. I believe it's the tallest one out of all the waterfalls in the Gorge, but it's also the most touristy. You're going to have the most people there. There's even a gift shop that you can grab a souvenir. So if you're into touristy places, this is going to be the spot for you. Personally, I like the waterfalls that have less people there so that I can enjoy it a little bit better by myself, my own way. So you've got waterfalls like Horsetail Falls, you've got Joaquina Falls, Loretel Falls. You've got, I think there's about a dozen waterfalls down the Gorge. So if you go drive down the historic Columbia River Highway, you can actually hit all those waterfalls in one day. Take a look at them. You can go hiking up in there. You can hike from waterfall to waterfall. There's a ton to do. And speaking of hiking, there are dozens of trails in the Columbia River Gorge, and I think they probably span for hundreds of miles. So if you are into hiking, this is the spot for you. And then Hood River. Don't sleep on Hood River. Hood River is more than just an adventure hub. And why I say an adventure hub is because a lot of the water sports on the Columbia River, it's kind of a hub for that. So you're windsurfing, you're kiteboarding, because it does get real windy down in Hood River. And so those water sports that require wind are super popular there. But on top of just the adventure hub that it is, man, they've really done a great job building up Hood River over the years. And now it's just a great place to go for the day just by itself. They got a ton of shops, cute little boutique shops. They've got some great restaurants where you can sit out on the balcony and, you know, take a look at the river, the water sports that are going on and whatnot. They got some wineries and some breweries out there. Pretty much anything that you could want in Hood River. So if you are an outdoorsy person who loves breweries and wineries, going down the Gorge, taking a trip down the Gorge for a day or two might be what you want to do. Okay, so the second thing to do outside of Portland would be take a trip up to Mount Hood. So Mount Hood is the largest mountain in Oregon. We do have other great mountains like Mount Bachelor, But the nice thing about Mount Hood, not only being the largest mountain in Oregon, is it's only about 30-45 minutes away from Portland. So you can go up there if you ski, snowboard, cross-country ski, snowshoe. You can even go tubing up there. They got spots like Snow Bunny to go tubing. There's a ton to do there in the winter. We've got 3 major ski resorts, ski and snowboard resorts. So we've got Ski Bowl, Timberline, Mount Hood Meadows as well. But in the summertime, there's a ton to do too. So like places like Ski Bowl, they've really beefed up their summer attractions. So they've got alpine slides, which is this crazy thing where you're kind of going down on this go-kart that's on a slide. You'll have to check it out. I'll put a link in the comments. So alpine slides, and then they've got even bungee jumping up there. There's just a ton to do in the summertime. And of course, hiking. Anywhere you go in Oregon and in the Pacific Northwest, you're gonna have hiking around. So if you love hiking, this is the place for you. So the third thing that you can do outside of Portland would be go visit Oregon's wine country. So about 30-45 minutes southwest of Portland, we've got wine country. We've got vineyards everywhere. We've got some of the best Pinot Noir in the world. I know when people think of Portland, they think of breweries. I think we had the most breweries per capita next to like some cities in Germany. So we're well known for breweries, but outside of Portland, we're really well known for our wine as well. Like I said, some of the best Pinot Noir in the world. So if you take a 30-45 minute drive southwest, we've got little towns like Dundee that have, seems like the whole town's filled with vineyards, and they've got these cute little boutique tasting rooms that you can visit. Bring some friends, have a night out, and taste some of the best wine you'll be able to find. All right, so the fourth thing that you can do outside of Portland would be take a trip to the coast. It's about an 1.5-hour drive. You can get to towns like Seaside or Gerhardt and have a great time there. There's a ton to do. If you want to take a little bit longer drive and get a little bit more diversity in the cities that you're visiting, you can go to places like Astoria, which is up north, which is a historic fishing town. You can go all the way down south to Bandon, where you've got great golfing. It's really well known for its golfing. You've got Cannon Beach, which has Haystack Rock. You've got Tillamook, which has the Tillamook Cheese Factory, the best cheese, by the way. Anyway, the coast is so close. It's one of the great things about Portland is you're so close to the mountains, you're so close to the gorge, and you're so close to the coast. All right, so the fifth thing that you can do outside of Portland would be take a trip down to Silverton or just outside of Silverton to a place called Silver Falls State Park. And it's going to be one of the most beautiful places that you'll see. It's going to be worth a drive. It's about 45 minutes an hour, depending on traffic. But it's got this very well-known trail. It's the Trail of 10 Falls. And so you take this walk. I can't remember how far it is, but it's a couple mile hike, and you're going to be going behind waterfalls. You're going to be going in front of waterfalls. You're going to be seeing 10 waterfalls along that hike. And there's other things to do in Silverton as well. So you don't just have to drive down there for the state park, which is beautiful. You could spend a whole day there, but if you wanted to do something else, downtown Silverton's super cute as well. You could grab lunch there, grab dinner there after you're done, grab a drink, and whatever. Just it's really cute in downtown area. And they also have the Oregon Garden in Silverton. So it's a stunning botanical garden featuring themed sections like the Children's Garden. There's even like a Frank Lloyd Wright designed garden. And, it's really good for nature lovers and kind of, enthusiasts of people that love flowers, gardens, and stuff like that. So there's a ton to do in Silverton, and it's only about 45 to an hour away. So the sixth thing that you can do outside of Portland is take a trip to McMinnville and go check out the Evergreen Aviation and Space Museum. So it's right next to wine country, so you can do a couple of these together, or it's even on the way to the coast, depending on which coastal town you're going to. You can mix and match some of these things that I'm suggesting that you do outside of Portland. So what's so special about this Aviation and Space Museum? So for one, it's got the Spruce Goose there. It's a historic plane. It's the largest wooden built plane ever built. It's the largest plane that can go on water as well. It's just pretty neat to see, and it's huge. It's humongous. It's been said that there's some connections to some military projects there as well, so kind of adds a little mystery into its already fascinating collection of airplanes. Those are my top 6 favorite things to do outside of Portland. If you like what you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notifications button. That way you can get more information whenever we put out new videos about the Portland metro area. And give us a call. If you have any questions about what's going on in the real estate market, you have any questions about anything Portland related, we'd be more than happy to help.